I'm going to show you two things to do this week. One of these I've already shown you and you've seen it, you've tried this, but you might still be having trouble with it. I'm going to show you my hand as if it is the keyboard. Pretend these are some keys on the keyboard. And we're doing what my fingers are doing on the keyboard. These four fingers, especially the thumb, we're not going to worry about for right now. So you see what these fingers are doing. You see how they're curved. Now, if you do this and you notice that your fingers automatically do this, how about we try this? Put your hand just flat on top of your other hand's fist. And you're going to do this with each hand alternating. But I'm doing the left hand first. You can do right hand first, whichever you want. We're going to put it flat on here. And then we're going to kind of grip and pull here. Now, one of the problems here is we don't want this tightness that's in the hand right now. You see my hand is kind of tight. So we're going to just use this to get an idea of the curvature of the fingers. Now, I want you to just try tapping your fingers on your knuckles. And if you notice that you're buckling in on these knuckles here, in the joints here, what might be happening is you could just be pushing too hard. So do this, just lightly tap. And notice that you're not buckling in. This is what we do on the piano as well. Now you might be thinking, but there's no way if I just barely tap that any sound is going to come out on the piano. That's not necessarily true. Now, as we get to louder sounds, we do have to use more force. But one of the things that's really important to remember is you only need force up until the sound is produced from the piano. So here, let's switch over to the piano here. As I'm playing on the piano, if I keep pushing, that's fine. I can keep my finger curved, but you notice that my hand looks a little tense, doesn't it? Let me try that again. Now my hand's a little bit more relaxed. That's because my pinky is now just barely holding down the key. So if I put very little weight into the keys, I still make some sound. One of the keys to this is this will help you with faster playing because keeping force on the keys will only slow you down. So let me give you an exercise that will help you to strengthen the muscles, which is an important aspect of playing the piano. Don't let anyone let you think that muscles have nothing to do with playing the piano. Of course they do. Our muscles are what control parts of our body. So without muscle, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to hold things. You can't pick things up. They're required for anything. So if I'm playing this, it does require muscle. Of course it does. There's muscles in the forearm and in the hand that are used to control the fingers. So we do strengthen these just by use. Now you don't have to do any heavy lifting here. We're just going to try some basic techniques here. What I'm going to do is this, and I'm going to show you this with the pinky. Now this is a technique that be very careful doing this one. I'm going to show you, we're going to push down all 5 fingers now. And then relax them. Make sure that they're curved. This is just like what I showed you in a previous video, so watch that if you have not. And now, while holding this down, you do not have to maintain sound, so don't worry about the sound. You can even, if you're using a digital keyboard, turn it off if you don't want to hear it. Now we're going to just very slowly lift the pinky up off the key, and then push it back down. Now again, it doesn't even have to make sound. It just has to stay curved and relaxed. Maintain the bridge. And keep the arm, shoulder, elbow all relaxed. Allow it to move. When I say relax, it doesn't mean that it is limp. It's still being used. It just means you're not tightening the muscle of the shoulder. The shoulder here, you see it in my front video here, front facing video or camera, that it is completely relaxed, but it is movable. Do the same thing with your left hand. You won't be able to see my pinky in my left hand here. So we'll do the same thing. Just lift it up just enough to get the key to release. Now this is going to be difficult. I'm never going to I would not want you to believe that this is an easy exercise. You can do this with all the fingers. I will say that I believe that finger 4 is the hardest one. Now as you lift this, think about this. As you lift finger 4, it will be very difficult to lift it way up off the key. Don't try to do this. Don't try to lift it extra high. You don't need extra distance from the keys. Just keep it close, because in a future video I'm going to talk about how where your fingers are affects speed. We don't need them to be right against the keys. We don't need to lift too high. Notice that when I play quickly, my fingers are barely lifting up off the keys. You'll see some of that in my next video. Thanks for watching.